Matty, you must be rapt to be home.
Yeah, no, it's been a long 2 weeks, but now we get a couple of weeks at home. We did pretty well on the road, 2-2. Obviously Friday night was a bit disappointing, but now we're home for 2 games and we've got to take care of business at home.
What do you have this week, I suppose? Is it a lighter week given all the travel and everything?
Yeah, today we just had film and we'll do a shooting session today. We get tomorrow off and then come back Thursday to start preparing for Sydney.
How do you explain that turnaround between Friday night against Melbourne and then the game at Wollongong? They're 2 entirely different games.
Yeah, we're very disappointed after that Melbourne game to let a 21-point lead slip like it did. We had Saturday off to prepare for Wollongong, and we knew if we played like we did in the first half against Melbourne, against Wollongong, we're a good chance to win. Because,
I mean, the Gong hasn't been a happy hunting ground for the Wildcats.
No, I think that was our first win there in a long time, so it was good to get a win down there.
And sitting on top of the ladder right now, coming up against Sydney, who aren't travelling all that well, kind of nice place to be.
Yeah, obviously it's good to be on top, but we're not worried about that right now. We know Sydney's going to be very tough. Their record doesn't show it, but we played them in the pre-season final in Brisbane, and we had a really tough game with them, so we know it's going to be a very tough match.
How did everyone pull up after the road trip? Is everyone okay?
Yeah, everyone's fine.
Do you feel like you've really set up your season, I suppose, and being on top so early, and you can really make a move now?
Yeah, well, we've got 2 home games now, so hopefully we can protect our home and get 2 wins before we go back on the road, and hopefully that will set our season up.
And your own form personally, obviously you've been playing pretty well. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's good to finally make some shots. But no, I've just been working hard at practice, and the boys have started to go inside now, and I just got to reward the boys for throwing the ball inside. So I'm happy with how I'm going, but there's still room for improvement.
2 wins, 2 losses. Is that sort of what you guys were hoping for, or where do you sort of see yourselves after that?
Yeah, no, we're happy to go 2-2. Obviously we should be 3-1 on the road, but to go 2-2, we're very happy with that, especially winning in Cairns and Wollongong, where we haven't won in a long time.
Shawn, you probably get sick of the question, but how's the body holding up, all right?
Yeah, well, this has been probably the toughest 2 weeks since I've come back from the injury. So, yeah, I was a bit sore going into the game on Sunday in Wollongong, but you know, it's not too bad. I think it's a lot better than I expected after playing 4 games in 9 days and the amount of travel that we've done.
Are you back to the level you were before the January accident?
I think it's still a work in progress. I always thought it'd probably be a couple months into the season. You know, I'm just going to keep working at it, try and get my timing. But obviously I don't think I'm there yet, but I guess encouraging signs that I played a little bit better in the Wollongong game, so hopefully that'll continue.
Yeah, I mean that game would indicate that your timing's pretty well spot on.
Yeah, it was better. I don't think it's all the way there, but it's coming back slowly. I was pretty frustrated with the previous games that I've been playing, especially in this 4-game road trip. So you know, it feels good to have a good one, and hopefully that can give me some confidence in these next couple home games.
How's the group as a whole, I guess, after such a long road trip? And I mean, you must be rapt to be home.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, you know, we're still sitting top of the table, and you know, we probably had our toughest stretch, and we're without Damo, so we're not doing too bad. I think we're frustrated with the way we played. You know, probably for about 10 minutes in the Melbourne game, but other than that, we had a really successful trip, and I think you know, hopefully it should give us some confidence coming into these home games and really set us up nicely.
And Sydney this week, Matty was saying he still considers them a danger team, even though they might be not going as well as you guys.
Well, they have probably the most dominant player in the competition in Kazoo, so you know, he can come out and just dominate. So we got to make sure that you know, we respect them. You know, they've gone to Adelaide twice now and beat them pretty convincingly. So it's going to be they're a team that's up and down. So I think that they're going to be ready to play us and excited to, you know, try and get a win over here and get their season started. So we got to make sure that we don't allow that. But you know, Sydney's a dangerous team. They got some talent there, and because they're unpredictable, probably makes them a little bit more dangerous. You don't know which team's going to show up.
Shawn, that Melbourne game, can you put your finger on what went wrong when they came back into it?
We just didn't execute, I think, for the most part. Our discipline, you know, I think Bevel has spoken about that. We didn't stick to the game plan that we had set out, that we had done in the first half especially. And they probably slowed it down a bit to a half-court grind, and we didn't respond and execute on the offensive end. I think that probably got us a little bit more anxious, and then we weren't really executing on the defensive end as well. So it goes hand in hand, but there's going to be times in the season, and I think that it's a good thing that we're going through these right now. Not probably you don't want to go through them, but we're learning, and I think we learned from that Melbourne game, and we showed how well we can play when we did against Wollongong. That was a tremendous effort.
Sure, just off at a tangent, talking about the Melbourne Tigers, how do you feel about the prospect of, is it a prospect and maybe a possibility of Mills out and Bogut in? Because they're chasing him.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would make them pretty tough. Probably make them even tougher than when they had Patty Mills, probably make them even more of a complete team. So, I mean, they're sitting top of the table, and then you add Bogut in there. It, you know, that's scary, but we'll take that if it comes. And you know, I like our group. I like the way we play, and you know, we got a lot of room for improvement. So it should be a good test for us. If they do get Bogut, we'll look forward to the challenge.
I mean, do you think that pitch is realistic? Other teams have tried and failed because they couldn't cover him with insurance.
I don't think it's realistic. I think Bogut tried to play before and it didn't work out. So I don't know if something's changed in the last couple of weeks. I'd imagine it hasn't. But I guess we'll see. I mean, it'd be great for the league. It'd be great for exposure. You know, he's the best player Australia has got. So he would, I'm sure he'd do some special things in this league.